Okay, hi. So I'm gonna try and show, I guess, just like a general guide on how we speedrun this game. Current world record is a 109:13, um, and so just all the strats that we use in these upper level runs. Hopefully you can learn something, and hopefully you start running. So we have five loading screens that we take the time out of at the end of the run. The first one is right here. And just when you're done, you just subtract the time each loading screen takes from your overall time, and that's your speed run time. It varies completely based off of everyone's systems, consoles, and computers are all different, so loading times vary. I've got a fairly decent computer. My loading screens are about 1 to 3 seconds each. Typically, I get like a 2.2 second loading screen on average, I'd say. At the end of a run, I get about 13 to 15 seconds. So you move your camera when the screen fades in to aim here faster, but it really doesn't matter. You want to run, press the button, get here. Really, 1 second doesn't make a difference. Unless you're me and you're really precarious or every ounce of time you have. So it's about, so when you open menus, open monitors, open screens at all, there's normally a button you have to click, or normally it's down here. But you can just press spacebar like instantly. You press F to get into the screen, you press the spacebar, um, and you hit it right away. Well, sometimes you gotta watch out. There's some screens that are kind of hard to get into. You end up just jumping and landing on the disc. Okay, so you want to run here. You cannot jump off the railing here, which is very annoying because that would be very fast. No, but you have to jump here. You can't jump over this railing either. So you have to kind of run in and like jump around that pillar as best you can. And the faster strat is to go this way and do that. So that's a little tricky and it's going to take some practice. I'm glad I mess it up all the time. I'm glad I did it first try. So you run, you jump, and it's on this third barrel here. At the end, you want to jump and you want to aim for this pillar, and then like move with D or whatever it is on gamepad to like move left and kind of kite over the railing. See if I can do it again. See, that's me jumping too early. That's happening again. All right, and just like holding jump through that. If you don't want to do that, you can just as easily run this way. It's a little slower, but it doesn't matter. So after going that way, you jump on these boxes. And you just want to like time your jumps like very light because the longer you hold jump, the higher you jump, and that's important for a lot of skips in the game. But you want to just tap it to jump minimally as possible and quickly off the next box, as opposed to going up the ramp there. And this is the only time in a run you climb down a ladder, but you can just press the that's the wrong button. Just press the space bar and just drop right down. So when it comes to elevators and like buttons like this, there's like the animation where it like drags you to position you in front of the button. So you want to make sure you want to approach it from like wherever side you're approaching it from. You want to hit the button before you cross over the middle. I'll show you here. So I run down this way, and if I press it like this, your character stops, turns, and walks to the button, and that loses time and definitely accumulates over the course of a run. Whereas opposed to if I had just like pressed it beforehand, I would have just snapped in front of the button, in front of the console, and pressed the button. So you hit this one, a small cutscene plays. You're gonna run around this side. You can go around both sides, but some less space to go. Go through here, and the codes are always the same. So in this one, it is 3, 5, 4, 8, and you can use your numpad. I used to not use my numpad because that's where my splits were, but I decided like I'm wasting time by clicking it. I could just type it really fast. So I changed up how I did my splits. But if you want to ever find that code, if you don't remember 3548, it is right here behind this counter. I'll run, and you want to jump over the railing, go through, and the movement is very important. I'm just holding A and like kind of tiny moving my camera to do that clean. Movement is very important. So when going around, I'll showcase it here. When going around corners, like you can just turn your camera. If it's like a sharper corner, like if you're just going down the hallway that way, but it's like a slow kind of a movement. It's a minimal time save, but definitely adds up because you're running the entire game. Where if you press the direction button to go to where you're going, you corner faster, and it saves up a bunch of time over the course of a run. And you might have difficulty grabbing objects sometimes, like if you're standing in front of it and like not moving. It can be a little tricky, a little difficult. But I've noticed that if you're moving while grabbing, you can grab it way more consistently. It's just gonna be an annoyance throughout your runs. To do this part quick, see it right now, I'm pressing F and it doesn't work. Do this part quickly, you just want to hold E to rotate it a little. Q and E rotate objects you're holding, and quickly pass through. I could, never mind. Run up the stairs, go this way, hop over the table, or alternatively, I'm not sure how much of a time difference it is, but I do know you can just like run around this side. It's what other runners do. I just don't problem with it. And up here, up there, I want to hold A to turn through that door really quick, and then press F and spam space, and then as soon as the option to press the button becomes available, it gets pressed. You run this way. Our object is to turn these two valves. It doesn't matter which first you want to. Now this one's a little tricky with that button thing. It's kind of like you want to press F, like, kind of here. It's a little tougher to time. It's a lot easier to like get all messed up with it, but it doesn't matter. You want to run and you want to press it, and then you want to run to this ladder. And it doesn't matter which ladder you choose. It is faster to go this one, but the second ladder, after turning the valve, it's gonna break, whichever one it is. Which is why you press that button to go down to that elevator and get that staircase. You see, I did it late. I'm just gonna be over this way facing the control center. There's an invisible wall here, but as soon as the elevator hits the bottom, the invisible wall goes away. So you can time the jump to where you pass over as it hits the bottom, and then you just like you land here. And sometimes it's little. See, it's annoying. See, it's very annoying. Just gotta get used to it and figure out what you like with that. Move it here. You want to use this to just jump onto the other valve because the ladder is going to break if you climb on it. You grab it and you want to start rotating it with E. And once it gets to about like this angle, a little, like you want that corner to be really far out. You get it over, you can just barely get the wheel over this line, and then you turn, you run, and you want to land on this bit because it's elevated, you see. It pushes me up a bit, and that gives you enough distance to make the climb, to make the jump. You want a whole jump. It's gonna be tight, but you can do it fast. It's really fast. Now I turn both valves, we go back, and we get to that console there. And there you go. And this entire first section up to this point should take about 5 minutes. The loading time at the beginning may vary. However long that takes. It can take 20 seconds. It can take one. It depends on, again, your console or computer. But about 5 minutes is a good benchmark for this first section. Quickly turn around and go this way. Jump over this. We go here. I believe jumping up the stairs is faster. I've never actually timed it, but it's just fun to do. Definitely not slower. Run and hit this. And I've been experimenting with just like before it starts to move, jumping up here and seeing what I can do. Normally it kicks you off about there, but elevators, if you jump, then you don't really jump very high. Button. Now this section is gonna be fun to practice. It's gonna be fun to do over and over again to do it quickly. You don't have to memorize it, and everything lights up, but you are gonna have to know there's this in the opening room before you put your suit on. There's also this diagram and throughout the facility shows you what to do. So 1, 2, 3, and this one, and then you want to time the line as the line passes over the C and retract. You want to press F. Watch. See, it has to be like at the second half of the C, and then you press F and it lines up, and then it's A1 3 3 4. I like that. It's on here. And then here, when it gets to the R and arm, because this line is faster. Second half of R. So you did it too early. Like that. And then these three, I'll do it quickly because they like reset. And that's down here. And as soon as you flick one, the next one goes like instantly. So you can just like do that as fast as you want. And it's about a little bit before 7 minutes that you want to be here. Again, loading times may vary, but about the 7 minute mark that you want to hit that thruster. And then you have to get to enjoy a 2.5 minute cutscene. Anyway, do forgive the poorly made video. I'm not very good at editing, but hopefully this is good enough for you to want to speedrun anyway. Zoom. Oh, notice there's a very important trick in this game. So if you press escape over and over again, it works. But if you click outside, this is, I guess, keyboard and mouse only. If you click outside, you press escape as much as you want. This comes in handy later. You have to press resume to get out. Yeah. There's a fun thing you can do. If you shake your camera really quickly, up and down all the way, you can look and do a little more. Hold on. Oh, it didn't work this time. I guess, anyway. As soon as she says that, this happens. And then it's this again as quickly as it goes. And then I normally split right as it starts to fade. But you can split at the title card that's about to show up. You can split at the second load time, wherever you want. But as I was saying, if you shake your camera a lot, just throughout the whole segment, you're like the camera shifts over to the right, and you can look and see your whole body, like without the head and everything. It's funny. It doesn't do anything, but if you're bored, yeah, people split here immediately after second loading screen. And now we enter Pearson. So you want to be vigilant. As soon as the screen fades into control, you can move your camera up and to the right to the monitor and press F or whatever it is on console right away. And then you gain control. You want to move forward. And you can kind of move down. So your forward velocity stalls a bit, but if you move down, it goes up way faster. And going back up, like you can get it absurdly high, but eventually it does stop. But it goes up a little bit. I'm sure it makes like no reasonable difference at all. But I've been messing around with it as of lately. I'm not 100%, but it could save a little time. It's always good to know. It's kind of a work in progress. We don't know everything about this game, obviously. We've really only been finding strats since like May, I think, or March. But yeah, you want to make sure you're centered mostly. If all the circles are yellow, then you'll be fine. If any of it turns red, then you're gonna crash. So I'll do that. So zero gravity control. You press E to roll to the right, Q to roll to the left. Space is up, control is down. left, right, A, B, up, down, whatever. As she was saying that whole thing, the last phrase she said, bring it back online. If you line yourself up like this, so you turn to the left, and you're in between the two chairs, anticipate as soon as she says the word bring, move forward, and the doors will open right and with enough space for you to pass through. It's a little faster, and then you can just keep going this way, and then you can press the button pretty early, and then slow down a little, but then just get through that door. I'm gonna move over to the right here and grab this battery. Whenever you pick up or like put away batteries in zero G, it stops you completely. Zero speed, zero momentum. So what's nice about it is with this, you can set yourself up. You want to go that way, so you move. You keep that in view. You move yourself close to the door. You press that and you turn because by having to turn and then also going around the corner, you're going to be slow anyway. So it's good to get as much of your speed done and get to the door before you stall yourself by putting the battery in. You go and grab this one, grab it, turn around, and you want to put it in that little circle there. And again, you can kind of just float up and then, oops, actually put it in. You go over here, and you can be pretty far away. You can just spam F as you go in there. You can be considerably far away from it before you have to put it in. So you want to take the batteries out, you put them in both, you go to the screen, and it pushes you out automatically. And then this door opens down here. And this section is so quickly, you don't have to worry about oxygen at all. Like, I never even picked that up. You don't have to. Over there, it's just more oxygen. So you go down here. It'd be so nice if we could just go this way, but they had to put a giant net there, so you have to go through here. Be mindful of your momentum moving up and down and your movement to try and just be as tight around corners as you can get. Practice with it, have fun with it. You go around this way. Libra, that's the one we're going in. It's the only one after the netting. Don't have to learn the names or anything. If the ladder is beneath you, like it is now, the door is going to be up and to the right that way. So you just kind of turn yourself around. You can just anticipate it, and then you can like cut the corner like this. We want to go here. The code to this one is in, I think it's in here. It's in one of the computers, but it is 2539. Like that. I mean, I should memorize them by now, but I still end up forgetting. I just write it on my splits. As soon as it says that in red, connection to the moon hub not established, and you know the very next screen is going to have the button show up, so you just start spamming space then. And the store doesn't open until you look at it, which is fun. Alright, you quickly get out, you want to go to this monitor. Small cutscene plays. I'm really not good at making videos, I'm kind of just rambling. Go this way, go that way. This one's a little weird. Sometimes your thing like stops. It's like kept on a grid, so you can't move it up and down, but like you can with enough force move it up and down. And but you don't need to. Just like you move it left and you move it right, or whatever, vice versa. And then cut those fast, and it takes you out. As soon as you're out, you can move and you can turn and press the button, and the store takes time to open. But then when picking up objects, you can pick that up right away. But what happens is if you just spam F really quickly, you're going to be stalled a bit. But if you do like a tap tap, like FF, you can like have an item quickly because you pick it up and you see it and you can spin it around, but you want to actually just take it. So you just do like a slower tap. That's faster than just going like, you know. This is going to be the most annoying part of this whole section. No, never mind. It's going to be very annoying. It's just an annoying section. This door, you only have to do to get these four here. You want to move forward, and then it floats out a bit. And as you can see, it like starts to go certain ways, like a top part or a bottom part like rotates out faster. But with this one, it's the bottom part, and then you can kind of like move yourself down and flip the door up like that. just takes time to practice and get faster at this. I'm not really speedrunning, I'm just showcasing all of our strategies. This one, I feel like it's easier to hit the top. Enough momentum, you can just shove it out of the way. The door here. You can only go this way, you don't have to worry about it. There's nothing. You need to go around, you can go over top. I like over top. And then you go down this way and you kind of just mess with the movement a bit, learn what you like, learn what you think is faster for yourself and how you play. Up around this way. And then got ourselves here. I'm gonna go around. Ooh. You see? It's not here. You see that? Okay, I'm not crazy. Okay, I'm gonna ramble for a second. I swear, in my earlier runs, this pipe here didn't exist. Like I could swear it. Like on my life, this thing wasn't here, and I could just go this way. But okay, this you see that there's supposed to be one there, but there isn't. And not only is it like not there, but like there's also it doesn't zap you at all. I wonder how that happens because that was not there when I started running, and then one day it showed up and it didn't go away. That's interesting. Anyway, so you want to go and you want to quickly just not get zapped, but like fly, please, okay, fly up and like just aim over and then start hitting control and back. So like you go here, you go up, and then you do that, and you just start moving backwards, and it breaks before you're like out of view of it. I guess I'll just showcase it again because I got a little sidetracked with that. Go this way, you don't get zapped, and you go bzzz, breaks, and then you turn around. And this dies, and you can go through it now. And you immediately want to hit the floor and go under the wheel and go into this. In this section, you want to be able to do it in about like a minute and 10 seconds. There's some things. As soon as you put a battery in, the next one opens. So you can go battery, turn around, and press F. Like you can be far away from it. So here, you want to start like as soon as it opens, you can start zapping it like as it goes down. But if you break it before the entire thing stops moving and locks into place, you'll break the cable, but the collision is still going to be there and you can't go through. So if you're gonna time it to like break it like earlier, which you'd want to do, you just have to be a little later on it. Otherwise, you have to break all four, or just like another tune. It takes time. It's very annoying. It puzzled me for a while, so I sat and tested it for a bit. So yeah, if you break it before it stops moving, the collision does not go away. So just be careful, don't do it too early of breaking that wire there. Go through, turn around. Now this, if I move in right away, oh, now it doesn't happen. Okay, if you normally if you move in there right away, once it like blocks and starts zapping, you get shot out against the wall. So you have to like delay yourself a tiny bit. I guess I did something differently and it just didn't work that time, but be wary of that. And then this one you can just go up. You don't have to zap any of these. You just have to you go down as you move. You zap these three. You don't get hit by that one. Grab the battery. And then you put it through, and then direction of the blinking lights. That's where you face this door here. So if you stand about here with like this box there in your view, once the whole room turns like orange, you can start moving forward, and the door is going to open as you pass through it. Right now. Make yourself through. And so you want to be facing with the ladder to your right, because you have to go, essentially you have to move in the direction of down for your screen. Wait till the circle gets big, and then you can zap those. Like if you're zoomed in, you move slower, even in zero gravity. So you just want to minimize being like moving around with it zoomed in, ready to zap. You want to go back into Libra. The first door you go over. You no need to get confused. Again, ladder on the bottom, so you want to go that way. And if you remember in the cutscene to leaving the planet, there's that thing with the pause menu. This is the first time we use our pause menu glitch. you fly this way, and you want the take note of the size of the pod menu and like which parts of the screen are open to it. As soon as like this monitor comes in, you see the screen. That button, now that we're here, you click out of it. Now like I'm pressing escape, it doesn't close the menu. You can now click that button and just keep pressing escape, and just like your cursor's a little different, so you have to like move up and down and a little bit, but you can do it quickly. And once you get it, you click resume, and then you see it's as if I'd gone over there, interacted with the console, and hit the button. But it eliminates the travel time. I think we use that about 3 times throughout the run here, in the next section, and then in Tombo, the final section. I'm pretty sure it's the only time, the 3 times we use it. So this cutscene plays here. After he misses that, now you can get ready and press F. I believe on gamepad it's X for this quick time event. Just press it to grab this. And here we go. Now there's this whole section. I messed around with a bunch of different routing of like going around where it was trying to direct me and finding different ways to make it faster, but I haven't found anything yet. So you have to make sure you grab every single canister or you will die and you have to start all over again. So make sure you grab those two, this one here. You'll see it'll now direct you this way, and you'll kind of feel it with your screen. I don't know how it looks in a recording, but like you feel like you're going way faster now while you're playing, because it's just kind of pushing you. Go down this way. If you want to try yourself and find a faster way to do this, be my guest. I'd much appreciate it, but I haven't been able to find anything, so oh well. So you want to aim your crosshair above the orange. So as you get close, there's the oxygen in there, but you have to zap the box, and then you turn down, and I'm just pressing space. When I'm facing straight down and pressing space, which is moving me up, which is forward like this. So you want to make sure you don't actually hit the wall that's there, and just be careful with it. But it's not too hard. The next one is in our shuttle here that we arrived in. That's where we're supposed to go. Over there is our destination, but we can't make it there, which is annoying. If you had like, I swear, if you had like 7 more seconds, you could make it. But turn here, you grab this. This doesn't have collision, so you can go right on through it and do it quicker than that. I was just showcasing it. Ideally, this whole section takes about like 2 minutes. When you zap this door open, it pushes you back because air is escaping, so you want to get as close to the door as you can to have as much space to move forward as fast as possible. Then it stops you. If you can do it earlier, but then you just don't move as far forward as you can. You want to hit the button here. And that's Pearson done. I split there when the screen turns black. You can split when it does the loading screen, because this is our 3rd loading screen of the game now. I'm going to stop talking about when you can split. You can make your own splits. We don't have an auto splitter for this game. There's 3 people running it. No one's made an auto splitter yet. That's fine by me. I don't really care. That's Pearson. Now we enter Copernicus Moon Hub. This section is fairly long. Right now, on my pace, it'd be about 22 minutes at this point. 22, 23 minutes. Leaving, I leave this section at like 38, 39 minutes. So it's a decent chunk of the run. So 90% of your runs, you immediately go into the screen and press that, move around. Like 90% of the runs for me end on the first section of launching. I should explain this. 90% of the runs that get past that end at Pearson, and half the runs that get past here end in this section because of that one room we're going to get to. And then the rest die in Tombo. And whenever I make it past that, I get a world record. So, yeah, you hit the screen and you run. And between this box and the wall, there's this box here that you can just walk up. And you wanna sometimes though it's like a little weird, and you like hit the side of it. So if you have to like walk like this, and it brings you up, so like closer to the right side of it. You run through, and then when you're on the box, you jump between the wall and the monitor. Fun little thing there. Whenever I showcase it to somebody on stream, I always mess up. So around here, through this door, which opens too late, and then through here, and now a cutscene. It takes forever to play. You can't do anything while you're in here. It takes like forever. When the cutscene is over, we want to pick this thing up. So just towards the end, when she's getting spoilers, when she's getting grabbed in 20 seconds, you can just position yourself here. It's kind of, imagine this like a button to open a door or something. Like if you're off to this side, like you're not gonna stall, but like you're gonna sit there and just ponder your orb forever and then pick it up. So if you're just like facing it straight on like this, you'll be fine. Would love to find a way to skip this because it's annoying, but all I do is really just do laps around the desk. So okay, so when this thing gets zapped, like right here, this is your cue. Position yourself. And there you go. You want to turn left into the second worst door in the game. That door does not open until you physically touch it. You have to physically make contact with the door for it to start opening. It's so annoying. And here, jump on the railing, you fall. When you're on the stairs, you jump again. So it's faster than just walking down the stairs. This is where we do that like that slow thing instead of like picking up. Like I was spamming F there. It's a little slower. If you just do FF, boom boom, pick it up way faster. Well, I mean, 1/100th of a second faster. So it shows you the diagram of like which piece to go with. You just go here. So this one you pick up, you turn, and it shows you how to do it. So A and D, you turn it this way. I just do D, D, F. And then this one I do W to move it that way. D, D again, and F. And like you can't press F right away. Like if you get into position, it like the ability to press F doesn't work right away. Like it takes time for it to activate, so it doesn't expect you to do it quickly. So this one you do W W E A. I mean not E. Sorry, W W A. And then you move down. You pick up that. When you're like standing, it takes you out. You can press F and it goes into the monitor, which you don't need. So you want to move down and pick that thing up, and it puts it in there. And you want to stand behind here. And at the end of this next line, you can press F and turn it already. Like that. And then you turn around, the door opens. That just makes it fast. You grab this over here, quickly run out and go around the desk. And then because we already turned it, you can just spam F and get everything down. And so you start with this little one, turn it like that. And then this again is on the monitor. Like this way, and then press E. And it's this one, press W and I press Q. And I press S and then D twice or A, whichever, just turn it around that way. This one is W and then Q to rotate it. And this one is just W or S to flip it up. And then again this, and then you want to immediately jump back and just get into the monitor and spam F. You want to, like, as soon like she says A and then it gets cut off because you press the button. That's your goal, I guess. I think soon here you can regain control when the camera like zooms out of it. And you want to just like jump, and you can walk up the monitor screen. You don't have to jump again. You can just like use it as a staircase. And press F on the ASE. As she says like L for local or for lockdown. She says local lockdown and gets cut off. I'm gonna sound like a maniac talking about this. It makes sense to me anyway. And this is our first instance of mailbox setup that I've been using anyway. You don't have to walk into it because if you walk into it, there's a chance that he just like moves out of the way, and it's really annoying. So you can walk around the right here. You can stand like in front of the corner, and your goal pretty much is to just like walk in front of it. So you put him in the corner. You like walk. Sorry, you have to set up yourself a little better than I did. Yeah, you see, like you walk into him and you just turn this way because after a few seconds he goes through and there he is. How the ASE works is when he's like stuck or far away as the game deems it, it resets him to a default position, which is the like behind and to the left of your character. And so if you force him to be stuck in the corner and then angle your back and left to be behind a door, he clips through when he resets. And we use this like 4 times throughout the run, and it saves so much time because normally you're supposed to like zap this and like go through all these pipes and go up and down and around and through here, and it's just as soon as he's in, you just turn around, you go to the wall here, and you turn and go on top of the generator here, and then you press to take control. You can just press C, or you can press Tab to open your menu and click the button that looks like the ASE. I don't know how it works on a gamepad, if that's the only way you can do it, but on keyboard and mouse, you can just press C. And you want to run around this way because he's gonna stay back there if you like go to that cutscene because he wants you to see it. If you run here, you press Tab and you click the whistle. It brings him to you, and then you take him right away. You open the door, and you run through. And now we're here. You take the battery out of this. The game doesn't really tell you what you're supposed to do. I mean, if you put the battery in here, it shows that like, oh, one light's going, so you need a second battery. So that's the goal. The second battery is over here, so you take it from maintenance and you bring it all the way to the other side to crew quarters. This is the worst part of the run. I hate this part. You bring it in, you run through, get to this slow door again. You run through, you go this way, and you want to get the second battery. You go around all the way, and you can look around and find where the code is. There's like a log somewhere that tells you what it is, but really it's just it's here. It's the year the Moon Hub was built, so 2032 is the code. So you just run from there. You run in here. You go over here, 2032. And now here's the part that you want to practice a little bit, because normally like you run around, you hide behind the pillar, but it takes so long, and sometimes it's so finicky with the timing, you end up just dying. Most of my runs died here. So you see this like table, you want to like run and jump to the top of that table underneath the monitors, like this, and not get stuck. See, and then you want to do it again. You want to jump. You want to get on top of the table, and then you're good. So just say you just jump to get to the top of the table, and you can just run right through and skip that section. You go here and you grab the battery. When you land on the ground, he zaps you. Like you can't jump a lot, so you don't want to like jump too early because then you're gonna miss the table and you're not gonna have enough time to get over there, over here. So just like walk up to the counter and then jump because you're gonna be all slow from getting zapped. And you can just come out through this door, which was previously locked. And now you have your 2 batteries, and you can open the vehicle bay. The doors are going to open, but quickly I'm just going to show you something you want to run through there. But this screen, this is our important screen. We're going to use that pause menu glitch again when we get back to this, but it's going to be a little different. So what the screen does is it diagnoses the MPT to see, is the power going? Is it going to be able to be transmitted? And then you want to power up the monorail to get to the next section, which is what we're going to do now. But just keep that screen in mind, I guess. Run through here, and then you can wait, or if you run in 2 complete like circles, you can like run as the door opens, but it really doesn't matter. It's not any faster. As you go through the car here, you want to like hold A to turn and like not drive too much because you want to line up on the buttons. If you call this lined up, but you want all the lights to turn yellow and then they turn blue. And you can use spacebar to slam on the brakes. so I used to go to that tower first, but I've discovered that actually going to there's two towers. As soon as you leave the door, you want to hold D or to go to the left. And you cut through there, go into the second tower, because the overall route and like the terrain is like faster to go this way. Like it uses a lot less time of just like going up and down hills and of just routing it better. At least from what I've noticed, and maybe I timed it wrong, but like my runs are faster now that I've done this, so I would imagine. I go up here, and there's an important thing. So as you park, if all six wheels are on, you can press F immediately because then the door opens. So you once you're on here, you press F, you get out of the car, and then like it takes time for it to register that the six buttons are pressed, and then opens the door. But you're using that time to get out of the car, so you're more efficient. But in this car, when you get out with F, you it like resets itself into a position that's like stable on the ground. Which sometimes, if you're like unconfidently on the buttons, like say if I do something like this, and it's like if all the lights were yellow at that point, and like I get out, the car could reshift itself to be like off the button. So if ever you're parked on all six and you feel like this is not really on the button too much, just sit in the car and wait for the lights to turn blue, because then the car isn't gonna do anything. But if you're pretty confident that you're on all six buttons, just go ahead and get out. You want to make sure this guy's in here with you because you need to open the door. If he is not in here with you and he's stuck outside, just press tab, hit the whistle, and he'll come in. And press C and open the door. Want to quickly turn around the corner. It's very annoying. He sometimes just doesn't go inside and he gets locked outside like a dog. Hit the button before you pass over it, otherwise you're going to go ooh, weird and all that. Just go around. It doesn't save any significant time if it does at all. On this tower, it is faster. Just don't jump around the back on either of these on this tower here. Just go the normal straight path because the ladders are closer to you this way. But on the other towers, it is faster. Like once you get past the stairs, to jump behind you because the ladder is going to be closer to that side. You run forward and you get into chair here, and you want to align the satellite with the tower. So you want to turn to the right over there because that's where the tower is. And once this plus sign is within the square that you're gonna see here, once it like turns blue, you can press F. It doesn't have to be in the square at all. I think only just like it has to be like I'm gonna do it slowly, but it has to just like touch it. So you can like once it turns like yellow, you're not really gonna notice, but you can be way out of the square and still line up. Um, it doesn't lose any noticeable or significant time at all if you're too early. You just spam F, you get it lined up, and now we go to the second tower. So you back up to the right, and you go this way over there, and kind of like you're doing a gravity slingshot maneuver, like a satellite. You just kind of like curve around the side of the bowl. Going downhill is always faster than uphill, so just try and find your favorite fast way to get over here. Because we're gonna drive right into this crater. And be wary, sometimes your car might turn. And if it does, then just counter steer opposite of where it's turning and then hit the ground fast. And I mean, there's faster lines to take. Have your fun with this. I'm just demonstrating. I do it a different way than I just showed. You see, now it's lined up. Well, nice. And you do not need him in here for this tower. The door's just going to be open. Now, at the top of these stairs, you can jump over the railing behind you and get to the ladder because it's right here. And then again, at the top of this ladder, you can jump back there. The satellite's lined up facing this way, so you want to turn it to the left to get to the big tower over there. An absurd structure which should not work, but I guess whatever. Up and to the left. I'm probably being way too meticulous with this video, but I want to, I don't know, get everything out there. Okay, now get ready. Once you see this screen with the monitor, you press escape and you can click the side of this, and it does this for you while the cutscene's playing. Because normally once you go inside, you have to press it twice. Like it cycles through a bunch of screens, and you have to hit the second button to like activate the monorail. But because we did that, we only have to do it once to activate the monorail once we get inside. And you want to stay in the car for this because you want to drive all the way to the end again. And the route that I did to get back in here again, you find a faster one. I use a faster one. I just drove that way because whatever. You want to get out. You want to turn in there so you have less of a car to walk around. Okay. You want to move here. You want to face to the over there, and you want to do the glitch. Then quickly run in, and then that's going to activate the monorail. You're going to be in here. The doors are going to be opening while this cutscene is playing. Sometimes when you get out of pressing the button on the monitor, you're not like able to move right away, and it's annoying because then you have to open the door and it loses 6 seconds. So you want to make sure you're in here, and you can just run out and go up the stairs here. And I do think it is faster to just go through. You can go through the back door, but then you have to turn way more. It's just faster to go through the front right at the press F on the chair. And this whole section is very fast. So, all right. Get out, turn around. Only this back door is open here. You want to turn and open the monitor, but be careful because sometimes you actually go into the piece of paper there. The code is 1881. And the code, and then you want to press spacebar because then unlock maintenance, and it automatically takes you out, and you can press C right away because you need to do that. But anyway, the code, if you want to find it, that just tells you that it's down there instead of one of the crew quarters. But 1881. You press it, it takes you out. You want to immediately press C to take control of him. You fly up, and you're always going to be within range of your guy because he's just right there. You go out and do 2, 3, 4, 4, and then you run out. It's a really annoying puzzle. You want to go back into the chair, but we figured it out. I used to do 4, 2, 3, 4, but it's faster once you leave the pipe to just go to 2 right away. So that's the new way, I guess, that I do it. Thanks to I don't know how to say his name, but the guy who just submitted a run. He's 4th place right now. Hipon Wana or something like that. But yeah, that whole section should take about less than a minute, or maybe around a little more. It's super fast. You want to pay attention here because this looks like a cutscene, but eventually you're gonna have to play. Sometimes I used to just be on my phone because I was like, man, don't want to sit through this. I heard this cutscene 1,000 times. There's 3 quick time events. If you miss them, you can restart this section, and it takes forever. If you do mess it up, it is faster to go into your pause menu and just reload. Like if you die ever, if you die, just reload. Don't wait for the animation. So the first one is A. The next one is D. The third one is F. On gamepad, I think it's left trigger, right trigger, X. I think. Yeah, you can just spam it beforehand, and then already start pressing F. A, D, F. Those are the keys. Now, with proper execution and proper movement, at this point in the run, you should take control of your character again in like 39 minutes, like before 40. So it can be later into the 50s, or I've been here before in like the 39-30s on like a really good pace, but just kind of like around 40 minutes is your benchmark. Again, don't beat yourself up that you're not on world record pace. That's just how to line yourself up, I guess. You want to run this way and be careful because sometimes your ASC hovers like in your camera and like inhibits you from being able to like see. Like I'm pressing it, but like because the ASC is here, he's like blocking me. So just be careful because he's kind of annoying. You want to run and you want to zap this down and climb up the ladder. And there's going to be this square here. And now you wanna run and hold forward, and as you're falling, you notice you can press F. Just press it right away because then you already start the animation of taking that out of the generator. You want to pick this one up. You put it in. You want to run out the doors, and then control your ASC, and hit this, and then run here past these cables, and then press F again, and then hit the button, and the ASC is going to teleport to you. Your oxygen should read like 2 minutes and 2 to 5 seconds remaining on like if you do everything fast enough. That should be your benchmark. Here's one of those monitors where pressing F doesn't happen right away. You have to like line yourself up better because you end up just like jumping on it. After it says opening vehicle bay, you can or like start pressing F, and then right away press tab to get out of the monitor and run to the door. And you get into the car here. I likes to just pick you up and place you over. And this entire section here at the Reinhold Crater base, it takes me about 10 minutes. So it's about 20 for the first two splits, about 20 for Copernicus, and then 10 for here. And the rest of the run is Tombo. And it's just the same old thing with the buttons. Oh, in this door, you do need your ASC to be inside. So just either make sure or get ready that you're going to be in there. See? He got shut out. You want to move him under the door and hit the switch on the other side. And on this tower, you can jump behind, like skip the ladders, like on that other tower. So here you can do it right away, but on the second one, it's a little tricky. So I'll explain it to you. Because you have this cage around you, so you can't just like jump back, but you can jump around it, and it's a little scary. If you quickly enough just like run around, but you want to jump here. You want to be kind of on the right side of that yellow pole there, and you want to just like jump, hold sprint, and hold A to go left. It just kind of like see I messed it up there, and I died. But you line yourself up better. Just pay attention to how it's on my successful attempt. It's kind of difficult to put into words. If you do mess it up, you can save it and like land on the railing of the stairs, and you don't die to fall damage. It just loses like 6 to 10 seconds. I can't remember exactly, um, but it saves it. And then if you want to just run around, that's fine. Go here, and then sometimes see like you can land on the railing, or if you land in front of it, there's like some geometry, some collision that you can land on briefly and then jump again. So you don't have to be super precise with it, but like a general benchmark, or not benchmark, but like I don't know the word. Just be mindful that you can, in some occasions, save it by like landing on something. If you see yourself stopping, just react with jumping right away. And that's the fast tower. And then I'm gonna bring it over to the left. We can't line it up with that dark square because it's out of range. So you want to bring it to this tower here, and then that tower lines up with the station. And this is all to provide additional power to activate the next monorail to take us out to Tampo. But now this tower is going to begin to fall. I don't know exactly why it's in this state. There's some log or lore or something that probably explains it, but I have not read those since my first playthrough like 2 years ago. And then I didn't play the game for like a year and a half. This is going to be a bit of a sharp turn. So you can like stop holding forward and just turn a little to get like even sharper. And then see that? All the lights were there, but then it unadjusted itself. So I get back in, I just wait for it to turn blue. This is the hardest one to get. It's fine. These stairs are gonna be broken right away, so jump. Dodge this, and you want to get onto this railing, but don't jump off of it. You want to get on the railing, and then jump over to this one. And then you can just immediately just turn around and jump up here. Don't need the railing on this. And that's the fast way to do this tower. Otherwise, it's just running around a circle a lot. And just be careful not to jump too fast and just clear the railing and fall your death. You want to line up with that tower there, so you move to the right. And sometimes the screen is like gonna buzz and freak out, and it might happen right as you get to this. Not always. And there you go. Again, you don't have to be like lined up with the square at all. If you are, I mean, the time save is, I'm pretty confident, like a tenth of a second at most, a few hundredths or thousands at least. You can't, unfortunately, do the pause screen glitch here. I wish you could, but oh well. It's just not out of the pause box, so. So in this next section, you have to run all the way back to the door, but you're going to be on really limited oxygen, so you pick up the ones along the way. And it's going to look like you're going to run out, and then a crate's going to fall from the hangar, and there's going to be another piece of oxygen in there. And if you like line yourself to go and grab it, it's just as fast as avoiding it, because avoiding it looks really cool, but it saves no time. And is just like, if you don't do it right, you will die and have to redo this. So I'll show you, I guess. It's just kind of fun, but not necessary at all. So you want to just do like quickly run, and then you pick it up as you go past. you're going to notice when I pick up the next one that falls from the hanger, I'll have 7 seconds of oxygen left. And as I get to the door, I'll have like 8 or 7 seconds of oxygen left again because it's going to run out. So like the time is there for you to just like be able to run past and not need it, but you can just as easily grab it. And see, just like that. You can press this. There you go. Yeah, you just turn around and press that. And the door's going to be here too anyways. You can jump before it gets all the way there. And then back up the way you came. Back to the monitor. Careful not to jump. And you press space, and then it doesn't matter. You can't get out of the menu. It's just gonna start a cutscene. So you press space, you're down. And this is normally where Fortuna percent would end. After this cutscene, that's when that speedrun is over. Because that category I think was made before the game was finished, so Tombo wasn't added. This was the end of the game. Um, so if you're running Fortuna percent, congratulations. That's the speedrun. The timing ends after this cutscene is over, not when you start it. I think anyway. I've never run Fortuna percent. Anyway, I like to split after this next line is said. Right there, after he says you, then this plays. But again, split whatever you want. I don't care. This is when you do a stretch break or bathroom break, grab a snack or something, because this whole thing takes forever. Just a bunch of cutscenes, a bunch of pauses. There's a load time. So if you do your splits at the load times, just wait because it's about to happen. It's at this point you're about 50, 51, 52 minutes into a run. For me anyway. My split ends at 50, like 33 or something at this current moment in time. So yeah, about 50 plus or minus a few minutes, plus a few minutes, whatever. Here's a loading screen. Right now is going to be a very important skip, a very fun skip too. You can only get it first try because if you mess it up, you can't like reload. Because if you do, you're gonna play that whole cutscene again. This is Tombo entry skip. So practicing it is going to be annoying because you're going to have to sit through that cutscene every time you want to try it. So at this point, I'm almost an hour into the run. If I mess this trick up, I know I'm not going to get a world record, so I have to reset. And that's annoying, always. Messing up any of these tricks in Tombo is always annoying. Okay, so you get out. There's going to be a small ledge, like wall bit off to the left, and you want to aim for that. Right here. And you want to keep holding left, it's going to stop you. And then you can like walk into the wall and you can jump. If you get a jump that like goes high like that, then you can move around and get onto this ledge. If your jump doesn't do that, don't try to move. You're just going to hit the wall and not go anywhere. But yeah, ideally you jump high and then you immediately like move to the right and like turn around the corner and move left again to like go into the wall. And then you're good. So you can, from this point on, run that way up and go over the. I can show you, I guess. So you can run this way and jump up here. And then eventually there's going to be an invisible like wall, but you can just jump and get over it. And then you jump here and you jump there. Alternatively, what I've noticed to be, if not the same amount of time, then just as fast, you jump from there up onto that, you can walk up that little bit there. You don't have to jump again, and get on the railing. And you take the railing the whole way, and you jump down there and you climb and then go over that way. Um, I did some testing with it. I thought it was a few seconds faster, but I could also have timed it wrong because I didn't do the jump like as consistently. But either way you want to go, they're both really just as fast. I'm sure. I'm confident in that. And if you mess it up, then there's the regular parkour section, which you learn from just playing the game, I guess. It's very intuitive, so you don't have to worry. Fastest way only. So going through here, you want to turn to the left here, but there's like metal detectors. So once you get to this point, you take control of your ASE, you go over to this conveyor belt, you hit this switch. As soon as you press F, you can press C to get out of controlling your ASE. You go here to this door. You want to jump on this, and once you get up to the side, like you have to kind of like get up to here, you can jump onto the railing and climb over. If you're too like soon, so you're gonna miss. So you just like get up to the side, or like where it's where there's like the angle. You can just jump up, go over the railing. Fun little skip, faster than going up the stairs because going for stairs is for losers. Between these two, you see that and this. Like when you're in this square, you want to just like tap jump, and you kind of like fly down the stairs faster. I've noticed of like the 3 ways to go down the stairs, it's the fastest. So you go here, you grab this cart, and you just want to shove it down the stairs. Once it gets like to an incline, you automatically let go. You want to run, and I normally split once I hit the floor. But you want to run as far to the stairs as possible before this cutscene plays. It is possible because like sometimes the cart gets stuck in the wall, like it breaks the wall, but doesn't fall to the floor, and you can get on it. And I've tried to jump over to the railing to get onto the balcony like that, which would be faster, but I've not been able to do it yet. And from trying to do it, I've learned it's very inconsistent. So for the time being, you just get to the stairs as fast as you can, and that kind of shows you the route you're gonna take. Um, it's gonna be a little different what we do. So you run up the stairs. And you want to be very quick because if these ASEs see you, they'll chase you. Sometimes they chase you all the way to the door, and it's so this one that's going to be here is going to see you. You jump here and you quickly jump over here. He sees you, he zaps you, and sometimes he chases you. Sometimes he stops there, sometimes he doesn't. If he does chase you, he's probably going to kill you here, and it's very annoying. But fast way to do it. For the most part, the skips in this game are very consistent. Um, lasering, however, is not, I guess. And yeah, you can do that faster than I just did it. You want to grab the battery here, you want to bring it here because that's where you want to go. But you see, now that the door is closed that way, we have to go around again, which is normally very annoying and very likely to get you killed because you have to deal with that ASE again, the one that chases you. But we've found a nice little skip where you can jump onto this and jump up, and once you get onto this black shelf here, like once you're here, you can jump around and get there, just bypass it completely. And jumping onto that ledge, the ASCs aren't going to see you at all. Here's our next instance of mailboxing. You don't have to go to the corner of the door. You can go to the corner in this wall here, and it works just the same. You run into it, turn this way. And I'm pretty sure this setup here works on gamepad too. I know the one of running into it doesn't work on gamepad, but this one should. You grab the card. This setup is going to be a little fun to deal with. So you want to get in the door, and you want to start turning it with E to get it into the wall, and then it's going to get like stuck, and you want it to kind of, I guess, look like this. It's going to get stuck on these two rocks in front of it. You want to kind of look like that, where you kind of see the railing. You know, it's like lined up with the wall a little bit. Then you get on the back of it, and then you face here, and then you press F to grab it, and it shoots. It just shoots it up. That's boing skip, and you then use it to jump. There's a little invisible ledge here to help you. Normally, you have to like bring it all the way around, take it up an elevator, bring it here, make it fall, and doing it this way saves like literally 3 minutes. No. That's the next one. This one saves like a minute and a half, which is substantial. But this next skip saves quite a bit. Get to this monitor. Doing the pause menu glitch is very bad here because when you're in this section here, as soon as you hit it, like if you're out of it, you can't move. Like movement is restricted completely. You have to do it again to get to open storage. Oh, sorry, to open storage. So it's just faster to just go there and do it. Again, cornering quickly. That door is very nice. It opens just in time. Want to hop over here and turn around. And then here's our next instance of mailboxing. I'm gonna push it into the corner again. Well, yeah, that was a bad setup. I was too far to the door here. You want to like run into him like that. There he goes. You open the door. You want to block him from being able to move. Okay, so this is a thing. So you can like jump to get onto here, but then get off the desk because there's like a invisible thing there that keeps you from moving. But it's quicker to like run on this side of the desk. And then in this water, just like jump through it. Because otherwise you're gonna be like slowly wading through it. And just jump. Here's another table where it's difficult to like press F. Like CO is like not the easiest. So be mindful because you can just like spam jump the whole time. Just be careful of getting F. You jump on the desk and you can walk over. And go this way. Grab this and you turn it so it's flat and you can let go. It's like kind of like a bridge between these two platforms. You go up here and you grab this battery to power everything. And you can just run off or jump, it doesn't matter. You get here and then you're supposed to hit that, but you can do the pause menu skip. And what makes it faster this time around is that you don't have to look through a cutscene, and because that cutscene, you don't have to like sit through it. You can do this in one cycle without having to wait for it to zap again, which is very nice. And you go here, you come out, and then your your ASE is going to stop here because you want to see that it's like an important story cutscene. So you just keep running. Sometimes he teleports, sometimes he doesn't. You can, if he doesn't, you can just again call. Actually, no. If you call him, he doesn't come to you. He stays there. So you just have to take control of him. Come back down here. Mailbox again. That was a bad setup. You turn. Goes in. Press F. You grab this battery. This is the skip that saves like 3 minutes. It's awesome. Shout out to Dilly Dogs 19 who found it. Want to run, you want to put it down here, like that, and then jump again. It's going to be a little tricky. Sometimes you're not going to jump, but like once you're standing still, you can do another hop and get on. So there's like an invisible step underneath this, so it's very easy. And you zap this one, you zap this one. That took me 3 tries. Because of course I'm trying to record something. It's a little finicky. That's not the hardest trick in the game. That's coming up very soon. That battery, normally you spend 3 minutes doing a puzzle to get that battery out, but the cutscene just spawns it there. It's a very nice skip. Turn around, hop the railing. Boop. I'm gonna run and grab it. And you bring it in. Whoa. Alright, so for this next trick, normally you go around and super slow this whole area, but you can just hop over this and get over there. I'll show you. You run through, you can go up here and hop this railing and over this door, get onto this ledge here and like run. And once you get here, you stop. You want to stop running. You want to kind of like curve around it. You don't want to jump at all. If you jump, you're gonna fly off. So you just want to like walk around that little hop there. And in this section, you can run through the whole thing. So you take a blast. You can take one blast and not die, but you're gonna have to regenerate. Good thing you regenerate. It blasts again when you're behind cover. So if you just hold a tight line to the outside, you can run through the whole way, like guaranteed. Take this blast, and then there you go. You're at the end. It's not even close. You just run through the whole way. Uh-oh. Super easy, super fun, saves a bunch of time. Don't have to be scared of it at all. Now this is the hardest trick in the game, at least for me it is. I always choke here. This is the last trick in the game I always mess up. So it's gonna stop. This flap is gonna open to open the door. And you run down and just keep running forward. So you're gonna see, I'm gonna show you. So you see this like black line here? Once you get past this, but not too far past it, once you're like here, you want to jump and like like I remember when I said at the start, like holding jump, you jump higher, and you want to always sprint the whole time. You don't want to bump into these, and you can land. There's like that little, there's like that spoke there you can land on. So let's see. I it's very consistent. It's just hard for me. I always forget. You run, and it's at like the last possible. See, I was too close to the pipes and I bumped into them, and I also didn't delay my jump enough. It's very easy to practice. If you press load, you can always just like run right away and try it again, like this, and there you go. I'm gonna do it again. And if you miss it and you fall, remember just like reload. Don't wait for the death animation. Boom, there you go. If I was able to do that 2 nights ago, I would have had a 108. I'm just saying. But nope. Do it again. And just watch. I'm past this black. I'm delaying my jump, landing on the spoke, and there you go. I'm holding space the entire time, and I'm holding shift to run the whole time. Actually, you can make that once you laser that like really quickly, one after the other. You can just run. You don't have to wait for the next one to go over, the next big arm to slap you. And I'm gonna grab some of too, just because I took time to explain it. But you do not need to refill your oxygen at all in this section. You have more than enough. You don't when you're jumping, you're slower. Um, it's only faster in that little part where you're like half submerged in water. Um, so you just want to tap space. Not there. To yeah, just tap space to hop over those things. Go this way, go that way. And well, that's the hardest trick in the game. Is the last trick in the game. There's a little jump here, but I wouldn't call it really a. I mean, I guess technically it's a skip, but you get onto this third platform, you turn around, and at the very edge you hold jump, and you can just land instead of going around and waiting for this to come back out and go back in. Just yeah, it's super easy, super consistent. Hop here, you hold jump, super easy, and then you're in here. And you run and you hit this, and there you go. That's not the end of the game. That was a bit too much finality there, but here, this cutscene plays, and this is pretty much the end of the game. There's nothing more really. It's just a little bit of like interactive cutscenes. I don't know why bro was so flabbergasted. He easily could have run into a wall and crouched and absorb the blow. Um, walk this way, I guess. Holding shift doesn't do anything. I always still press it just in case it makes you faster, but it doesn't. Okay. There's some weird physics interactions in this game, so don't be surprised if you walk into a door and it sends you flying back. I've not been able to harness that to save time. It's my goal. We go up and go into this chair and interact with this joystick, and then immediately it's just like those towers that you realign, except it's way bigger. And when your screen blacks out, your camera goes somewhere, and like your movement stops, and like you have to move your camera back into place, pretty much. This is the most annoying part. I hate it. You want to keep it in the square to charge it. You can like counteract the movement a little bit, like it's gonna go to the outside of the circle wherever it's nearest, and so you can already just like hold the opposite direction of where it's going. Um, just get control back as fast as you can. It really is the most annoying part. I had so much trouble with it. See, if it gets out of the circle, it loses charge. It's the worst. I feel so bad every time I do this because I'm just so bad at it. Oh, by the way, epilepsy warning. This next part is rough on photosensitive people. After the line, you can press F. And then there's a cutscene, but you can skip it, thankfully. Just hold space. I wish there were more skippable cutscenes in this game, but oh well. So yeah, completing a run is if you do all those tricks, you get it from anywhere from like a 111 to a 109, or even as I'm trying to do now, a 108. The only difference between all of those runs, all of those times, is how optimally you move throughout the map. That is the big thing. When your screen's gonna go black here twice, and you're gonna keel over and like vomit a bit, but it only happens twice, and it always happens twice, so it's the same no matter what. You go here, you press F, final cutscene, and tell you when to time. But just really the biggest thing to focus on is moving optimally through the map because that saves the most time over the course of the whole run. That is a difference between a 10 like between a sub 110 and a 110 and a 111 or a 108 or something like that. All these tricks are super important and super fun, but that's the biggest thing to worry about. So the timer's still going. Once your character sits down and his hand like touches the floor, that's when the final time stops. That's what the community agreed on years before I ever joined, and I have no right to change that, nor do I want to. However nice it would be. It is a very long cutscene, though, I have to say. So he's gonna hunch over. He's gonna sit down. His hand's gonna move, and there. As soon as it touches the ground, you stop the timer. Um, like those skips save so much time. You can really like this whole recording right now is an hour and 33 minutes. it's going to be a much shorter video. It's like I did all this, and I stopped to showcase things all the time. Like you can beat this game pretty quickly. But yeah, hopefully this inspired you to start speedrunning because we could use more people in the leaderboards. We have 3 active runners at the moment. So if you want to start speedrunning, here's your guide for what we currently know with skips. We're trying to find more to get a more consistent possibility of a 108. But right now, just literally just by moving quickly and doing all the tricks first try and setting them up quickly and everything is I think it's enough. I mean, I was on pace to get it so many times, but then that last run where you have to do that huge, the last trick, I mean, you have to do that huge jump to like skip the centrifuge, like spinning arm section. Like I missed that. So, it's so hard. That I think that and the Tombo entry are the hardest tricks in the game. The Tombo entry is easy once like if you know what you're doing, but still it can like something can change subtly. You're not gonna notice it, and then you're gonna just like jump into nothing and fall off. You have to do the whole section again, like the normal way. I mean, um, in Tombo entry, it's not super punishing to like mess it up, but like if you keep messing it up, you're just gonna lose time, and like trying to do that whole thing the normal way is pretty slow. So I'm really just like all of our biggest skips are in Tombo. My theory behind that is since they added Tombo in after they completed the first portion of the game up to the end of Reinhold, they didn't play test it quite as much, so there's a lot more slip ups. So I really have to commend them for doing a really good job on the beginning part of this game, which is how stable it is. It's not bugs or glitches to exploit. It's just very surprisingly stable game. But yeah, thanks for watching.